What's up, guys? I was going through some old stuff and came across these old blue shop towels. These blue shop towels may not look like anything special to you, but this is a blueprint that Mark Novak and I used to put together a very cool little Henry case color hardened 44 Magnum. We originally put this thing together in January of 2022, and man, I have loved this thing ever since. I put some scratches on the back of the receiver. I've got some little divots in the checkering here on the forearm here. I got another one right there. Got a good little chunk right out of the back of that forearm. And this thing, like I said, has been very well enjoyed. It's very compact. It's nice and lightweight. It's a solid build. Put a Ranger Point Precision clover leaf peep sight on here for quick acquisition. And of course, we put together a really cool octagonal muzzle brake. Now, this octagonal muzzle brake was awesome. When we put this thing together, we were threading it down, and he was like, "What do you think that this thing might actually clock?" And it was like, boom. Oh, beer 30, we're done. But anyway, let's give you a throwback to the creation of this little gun. I'm going to give you 47 reasons why Henry should make this little carbine. Actually, it won't quite be 47. I'm just a little too disorganized for that. But I feel that I have blended just enough traditional with just enough contemporary that almost anybody can appreciate this thing. So much to the chagrin of the purple-haired cubicle dwellers at YouTube, let's take a really close look at this thing. And boom, here it is. Boy, I love that color case hardening. Of course, this began life as a 20-inch. You can see we've kind of done some work right here on the nose of it. We'll go over that here in just a little bit. So with the fact that it was a 20-inch, I got the small loop, and I don't mind that. I may pursue trying to find a large loop later, but not right now. Of course, Henry gave us some pretty nice wood to begin with. Some rather decent checkering. Feels nice to the hand. I've added a couple things here. You can see this quick takedown screw from Ranger Point Precision. Added that on there. I knew those brass touches would look nice. Of course, here is the clover leaf peep. That is from Ranger Point Precision as well. And now we've got a Ranger Point quick takedown screw right here for the stock. What is really cool about that is with no tools, I freaking love it. All right, time for some shot comparisons. First, we're going to shoot this thing with full house loads unsuppressed. Now we're going to show a couple of shots with the brake with some full house loads. And now here is where the magic absolutely happens. You unthread that traditional octagonal thread protector, you put your can on here, and here it is with supersonics. And of course, here we go. Subsonics in the snow, suppressed. So freaking sweet, man. Golly bum, I freaking love it. Let's run you down range so you can hear this thing. Now out here on the muzzle end, this is where the magic happens. Went down to go see Mark at Anvil Gunsmithing. And Mark was an excellent host, had a ton of fun down there in his machine shop. What we wound up doing was we chopped it right at 3.5 inches off of the end of the barrel. We took that chunk and did what makes this thing just an all-around really cool piece. We took and made an octagonal thread protector. so that when you take your can off of it, that octagonal thread protector lines up and all the flats line up, and it's really dang cool. Mark did an excellent job. When we chopped it off, we had to move the dovetail here back, we had to move the dovetail here back, and then we had to chop down our mag tube. We actually took this used to be the part that you would twist to take the tube out. Well, anyway, we actually drilled it out to make it just a little bit lighter. And if you notice, we don't have a detent here, and the loading gate's gone. You know, Henry's have that place right here where the brass shows through. It's gone. And of course, out here on the end, I am using a Silencer Co., just a 5/8 24 fixed mount. I have one that steps off the shoulder a bit. This one right here looks a lot more tidy just by being a 90 degree. So my Silencer Co. Octane 45 is hanging out here with just like I said, a fixed mount. No piston, nothing like that. You don't want anything. You don't want any movement, because if you get a baffle strike, that's exactly the way you do it, is running one of these with a piston. But boy, I freaking love this thing shooting suppressed. And now with this clover leaf peep sight, I am using the factory front sight. And if you will notice right here, you see how that looks right over the top of that can? I can actually see what I am trying to hit. The can doesn't get in the way. The way that I've got this thing sighted in is I lollipop the front sight. My bullet's going to impact at 50 yards. It's going to impact just above the front sight. Just freaking perfect for a suppressor host. I'm not giving up anything. But huge thanks to Mark from Anvil Gunsmithing. The time in his shop was well spent. We got in there, we kicked some tail, we got this thing freaking done. Mark is an absolute hoss when it comes to working on guns. He applied himself and did not back down. We had quite a bit of fun. We worked all day. It just didn't even feel like we worked all day, but we worked all day, went and knocked off, had a couple drinks, ate some barbecue, just had a genuinely good time down there. So huge thanks to Mark for his craftsmanship on this. Now, one thing Mark did say is that he has got a lot of his older stuff out there. He's not exactly looking for 100 of these Henrys to show up at his shop. That's not really what he's geared up for. This was just a special project, and what we're trying to do is influence the industry backwards. So let's make Henry not like me very much. Y'all send them emails. Tell them you want a Pat carbine. I think that'd be some freaking cool stuff. I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you next video. I love you.